In Rome, there exists a chair of Peter, allegedly connected to the first Roman bishop. However, its decoration shows it to be derived from the Mithra cult. It shows the zodiac, as well as the labors of the sun god on its front side, and suggests that the priest who exercised his powers of office from the chair was rather the Mithraic pater patrum, or the pater patratus, as the high priest of the Persian rock god chose to be called. Like the present ruler of Roman Catholic Christianity, he too had his see upon the Vatican Hill. Moreover, he enjoyed the protection of Attis, the dying and resurrecting young god of the Phrygian mysteries, formerly recognized by the state, who with his mother Cybele, the archetype of the Christian Mary, had long been worshipped upon the Vatican Hill. Attis also bore the name of Father, and Father simultaneously is the name assumed by the high priest of this god who, like the successor upon the throne of Peter, wore a tiara upon his head and likewise possessed the power to bind and to loose. The ancient Romans adopted and adapted Mithras, an ancient Iranian deity of covenants, light, justice, and the sun, into their own religious pantheon, creating the secretive cult of Mithras, which was particularly popular among Roman soldiers who admired his association with bravery and strength. Worshippers of Mithras had a complex system of 7 grades of initiation and communal ritual meals. At each stage they assumed a different name: raven, occult, soldier, lion, Persian, runner of the sun, and father. The Mithraeum of Felicissimus in Ostia, Antica, Italy, contains a floor mosaic dating from the 1st century of our era, consisting of 7 panels, describing each level of initiation. That panel of the raven shows also a small bowl and a caduceus, a magic wand wrapped in a serpent like the one worn by the god Mercury. The nymphus for a cult wears a crown in the shape of the rising moon, which links him to Venus as well as a lamp. Miles for soldier wears a military helmet, which links him to the god of war Mars, a lance and a bag. Leo for lion is depicted with a thunderbolt, the crest of Jupiter, a spade and a sistrum, a kind of Egyptian musical ratchet. Perses, for Persian, has a rising moon, an Asiatic sword and a scythe. Heliodromus, for the sun, wears a crown with ribbons, a whip and a burning torch. Finally, at the end of the cult space, there is the mosaic of the pater with a patera or small bowl for making offerings to the god, a magic wand for guiding the initiates, a Phrygian cap and a sickle. Initiates called themselves syndexioi, those united by the handshake. They met in dedicated Mithraea, underground temples that survive in large numbers. Being blindfolded, handcuffed and tossed in cold water were apparently just some of the ways in which aspirant followers of the cult could be welcomed in the temple cave. The cult appears to have had its center in Rome and was popular throughout the western half of the empire, as far south as Roman Africa, as far east as Roman Dacia, as far north as Roman Britain. Mithraism is viewed as a rival of early Christianity. In the 4th century, Mithraeus faced persecution, and the religion was subsequently suppressed and eliminated in the Roman Empire by the end of the 4th century. But parts of the Mithras cult have resisted the passage of time even within Christianity. The mitre in Commonwealth English, meaning headband or turban, or mitre in American English, is the ceremonial headdress of pope, bishops and certain abbots in traditional Christianity. The central element of Mithraism, Mithras's bull-slaying or tauroctony, it was a recurrent theme of the Mithras cult. The Mithras tauroctonus and the zodiac, a 4th century marble relief found in Lebanon, gives a full depiction of the act of bull-killing. In this scene, Mithras wears an oriental tunic and military boots, together with a Phrygian cap. He has subdued the bull in much the same way that a wrestler pins down his opponent's knee and back, controlling the bull by holding his nostrils with his left hand, while, with his right hand, Mithras administers the coup de grace, not by cutting the throat, legionary style, but by driving the dagger behind the bull's shoulder blade, letting him bleed to death. As the bull breathes his last, a dog and a serpent leap out to slurp the blood from its fatal wound. At the same time, a scorpion is about to set its pincers into the bull's scrotum. But what does all this mean? Tauroctony represents the regeneration of life and the cosmos, and that the bull's death will bring richness to mankind and its blood will be beneficial for nature.